Okay. So we have two new people, but nevertheless, just to give a quick um, uh, introduction to what is happening, Prajakta and Soumya. So these sessions are called Atma Darshana sessions. Okay. They are the only focus of this session is what? What do you think it is? You're on mute, Prajakta.
All about Atma, knowing about.
It's about self.
Self.
Okay. The self is the capital self, SELF capitals. Okay. There is a lower self and there is a higher self. Okay. And you think you are something, you know, and you believe that you are something. I'm a man, I'm a woman. Okay. This is my past, this is my parents. So there is a knowledge given about yourself from the outside world. Okay. Then there is the true self, which is beyond dimensions of time and space, which is pure existence. So is there a way I can be myself, just be myself? That is the endeavor. Okay. Not be anything else. Not be body, not be my thought, not be experience, not be in past, not be present, not be enlightened, not be unenlightened, not basically have any tags or notions. To be without any condition. And that's what Buddha called as nirvana. Okay, nirvana. So Vani means sound. Okay. Nirvana means no attributes. When I'm attributeless in the waking state, not go to some other state, while I'm fully functional in the world, if I'm completely attributeless, I am untainted by the world and I live in bliss, in peace, in silence, and filled with compassion and love. That our ancestors, our rishis, and Mahatmas called as nirvana or enlightenment, or in the language of Vedanta. So this is a session on class on Vedanta. What is Vedanta? What is the process of Vedanta? I'll tell you later. In Vedanta, it's called as Brahman. Brahman means absolute reality. So to find reality is the discussion. Any doubts in that? So typically what happens, you experience a world, you're interacting with the world, you're seeing the world, and your entire focus is on thoughts, feeling, and experience. So something comes up, somewhere. You don't know the source. Some thoughts come up. And a day you have thousands of thoughts. So they sort of uh, guide you, direct the body mind, and constantly give a sense of self. Okay? That sense of self is never questioned. You never question it. You never question your thought. You never question uh, the experience. You never question. And you go on living. And you take a lot of things for granted. A lot of inputs that were given to you about you to be true. Okay. Can anybody give one example? Prajakta? Are you getting what I'm saying, Prajakta?
Trying to. One of the examples I might be able to think is like, if I think or I'm told you're a woman, I won't question that.
Yeah, the question is, are you a woman?
Yes.
Why?
Why? Because physically,
Ah,
I am a woman.
okay. So physically, I am a woman. So there is a physical reference. Now, is the physical reference the absolute reference? To make a statement about reality, you need to have an absolute reference. Okay? Like there cannot be a relative reference. So there are two things, absolute and relative. Do you understand this? In the language of Vedanta, it's called Paramarthika and Vyavaharika. Do you understand? Vyavaharika Satya means transactional reality for transaction purpose only. So when the transaction is done, it's no longer real. For example, you're playing in a football field. In the field of football, which has like a box, within the box, there are certain rules. So there's a Vyavaharika Satya, and you cannot break those rules. If you break those rules, you're out of the box. Okay, but those rules are limited to the box. They are not absolute reality. You understand? So in the you can't say, you can't implement, you can't take away the victories of what you had or failure in the box to life. You can't go to the bank and say, I scored 10 goals, give me loan. That transaction doesn't hold good because it's a totally different transactional realm. So you said, I am a woman because of my physical reference. My question is the physical reference absolute or transactional? Prajakta?
Physical references is one of the ways of referring even in transactional world. May not be, I mean, from that angle, it's absolute because I don't think I'm in between physically.
Okay, I'll tell you this. So the reference for reality is it should not change. Okay? It should not change at based on conditions changing. Does the physical reference change? Of course, it changes. Every second, it changes. Every breath, it changes. According to science, every 10 years, you have a completely different body altogether. Okay? And forget every 10 years, which is a measurement of time in the waking state. When you go into a dream state, you have a totally different physical reference. In your waking state, you have a physical reference of a body in Wokingham. In the dream, you have a physical reference of a body in India or Paris. Okay, so which physical reference are you talking about? In the deep sleep, is there a physical reference? Projector? In deep sleep, is there a physical reference? So today you are my, what is that? Guinea pig for the experiment. So in the deep sleep, is there a physical reference?
No.
Are you there in deep sleep?
Yes.
That means I am not conditioned by a physical reference.
Yes.
That means I am not the body.
Yes.
That means I am not woman.
Yes.
Clear? That is that first lesson of the class. I am not the body.
Yeah.
That clear to everybody? And this process of understanding I am not the body is a result of understanding. It's called gnana. It's not a result of action. Okay? No amount of action can result in clarity of thought. So it's a process of gnana. So the entire spiritual journey, spirituality, so spirituality has become a mess. Okay, spirituality means so many things. It means a dress, it means a beard, It means some mantra. It means some, a mark. It means so many things. It simply means being anchored in reality, being anchored in my true self. Okay. And to be anchored in my true self, I have to discriminate between what I am and what I'm not. And this process of discrimination is a process called neti neti, meaning I am discriminating with my uh, functioning clear intellect based on the teachings of guru. Okay, that is real and what is unreal. The whole world from the time you were born has been reinforcing the idea that you are body. Okay, just give me a moment, one moment. Okay, so Ravi, Soumya, Kritik, Praveen, Zurubi जी, समझ में आ गया? Is it clear? So I am not. So the from my interaction with the world, I go on thinking. It's not even thinking. It's deep subconscious programming that I am the body. But I am not the body. Nobody has ever told you that you're not the body. Everybody has dealt with you as if you're the body. Okay, and you go on thinking about yourself as the body, and all your thoughts, all your actions, all your desires are with a physical reference, which is constantly changing. Okay, which is constantly changing. You cannot stop it. It's constantly changing. Okay, how it's changing, changing, and it's changes so much that in some time, in a very short, in a few years, that will be will change so much. It'll become so old, worn out. Then you'll drop it. Then you'll take another one, and again identify with that as if it's you. So this goes on. This is a cycle of birth and death, birth and death. What you're holding on to as me right now, as I am the body, you have done this for uh, billions of lifetimes. So Buddha used to give a reference to tell you the scale of perpetual life and death. The scale he used to give is, so when he went through his enlightenment, he was able to see many of his past lives, around 500 past lives. Okay. And he, so both Buddha and Mahavir Jibi, both of them were expert in past life regression. So they used to use the process of going back into your past life wherever required as a tool because they themselves went through it. So he used to say, so when students, to give context to students, right? How many lives you have lived? He used to say, if you collect the backbone, my spinal cord from all my lives, and you stack it up, you know how much it will be? And this is what Buddha used to say. Imagine Buddha's past life record. Any guesses? Anybody? Prajakta, take a guess now.
500, if he can 500, then at least 500 spinal cord.
All the lifetimes that he has lived.
Oh my. As there is a notion that you have to live like 82 million kind of lives to kind of, the life cycle.
Yeah. So how much?
Something
How many?
like that.
Yeah. How big would that pile be?
Pretty high. I'm like almost,
So he would say it is as big as the Himalaya mountain.
Oh boy.
And if you collect the tears that I cried, and this Buddha who cried, suffered, it would be mightier than the Ganga river. So that many lifetimes. And what is there in each lifetime? What is the theme of each lifetime? Birth, identification with the body, some education, some desires, then some family, some success, some failure, disease, death. Anything special about anybody else's life? Any human, any human being from any point in time, any time zone, history, past, present, future, anything different in life? Maybe there'll be difference in what you eat. Okay. Maybe there's some difference in how you're buried or burnt. But is there any other difference? Ravi, Lokesh?
No
Okay.
difference.
No, sir. Most of the things, these are the main things.
Main things. Is there any value in seeing what was there before?
No.
You understand? So what is that? You're doing the same thing all over again and again and again and again. The time you were identified with somebody, now you're identified with different body. The time you had some wife, some children, now you have some different wife, different children. And you so that time also you were very obsessed. That time you were obsessed with the job. Now also you're obsessed. The object of obsession has changed, but the disease remains the same. Okay? And this is called Maya. Maya means obsessing over not the object. The object keeps changing. Obsessing over the object as if it's perpetual. That is Maya. You understand? You're obsessing. If you look at your obsession, your desire, it is for an object, but not for the object. You think that that object is perpetual, forever. And the moment that object goes, you will start the same disease with a new object. So is there a way out of it? And that way out, seeking a way out, is seeking for liberation from this cycle of birth and death. And that seeking the liberation is a result of the teaching from a liberated one. Okay? And that is the importance of a guru in Sanatana Dharma. The liberation, it's called Moksha Moolam Guru Kripa. Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, Tadviddi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te gnanam gnanina tattvadarshanaha. That liberation, that clarity, tadviddi, that wisdom dawns because of the dialogue with the realized master. That's all. And the process of dialogue is called Vedanta. And the process is called Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa. It's a process of clarity. It's not a process of doing anything. You understand? Please understand, this is called the direct path. So Atma Darshana is the final, how do I say? It's the end point of your journey. It is not the beginning of your spiritual journey. Okay? If Guru is very, very different from a teacher. The teacher is preparing you to start a journey. The Sadguru is ending your journey. It's not that, okay, the Guru will tell me to do something. Okay, will start something. No. You've already done enough for in billions lifetimes, you've done a lot. Okay? Sab kuch kar diya. Everything you have done. Now the only thing is to realize and become free. If that is the aspiration, that is the seeking, then this is a class for you.
Guruji, one question.
Yes, sir.
Now you're saying liberate from the cycle, you're saying, right?
Yeah.
So liberate means like you're becoming free from that cycle, basically.
Becoming free from the cycle.
Becoming free from the cycle of this birth and death. Is that what do you mean?
Becoming free from the cycle of birth and death, and becoming free from all false notions that you have. The notion that I'm the body, the notion that I'm the mind, notion that the world is real.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can, based on that, if we don't have control over this cycle of birth and death, right? But we can liberate ourselves from the notions that you're mentioning.
That's
But
the birth.
can we actually, if this cycle is under control of something else, I think,
That's
you know,
something you.
yeah,
That's why the scriptures say, Tattvamasi, you are that. Now there is a duality. There is me, there is world, and there is something else. Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. There is a duality.
okay.
The reality is there is no Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. You are that. That's the problem. You think you are Jiva, you are Shiva. So did I tell you the analogy of ocean, wave, and water?
Yes.
So there's a wave. Now the wave is telling, no. I am not in control of my birth and death, my rise and fall. The water, the supreme reality. So there are three realities here. There's a wave, which is Jiva. There is the ocean, which is Jagat, bigger,
हाथ पूछिए थे
right? And there is a unseen reality, which is water, which is supreme reality. Now, what is the wave in reality?
Wave, yes, Guruji, you have explained this. Like, I mean, water is part of that. Sorry, the wave is part of the water.
No, wave is not part of water. Wave is water.
Wave is water. Yeah, I mean, yeah, wave is water.
Now you tell
Now,
me, from the point of view of water,
yeah.
is there birth and death?
Sorry, from the point of view of water?
Is there birth and death?
No, it just exists.
Yes, it just exists, and you are that. The moment the wave realizes, the moment the wave drops the notion I am a wave and realizes its true essence, which is I am water, it becomes that. That is why, remember the statement of the Upanishad, Brahmavid, Brahmaiva Bhavati. Okay? Repeat after me. Brahmavid,
Brahmavid,
Brahmaiva Bhavati.
Brahmaiva Bhavati.
Meaning, one who knows Brahman becomes Brahman.
Okay. No, yeah, I mean, is it okay to say like this? Yeah, we are taking the reference of the water, right? So water is actually existing in the form of water we see. Why?
Water is, in the analogy, water is supreme reality, Brahman. Water is Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat means existence, Chit means consciousness, Ananda means bliss.
I think I got the point, I think, yeah.
In that Sachidananda, there is an appearance called wave. Wave is an appearance in water.
Yes.
Okay, but just because the wave appears, nothing has happened to the water.
Yeah.
Just because the world appears, nothing has happened to Paramatma. Okay, the Paramatma appears as the world and appears as you.
Yeah.
But when the only problem is when he appears as you start looking. You don't see water. Wave doesn't see water. Wave only sees other waves. Okay, and the wave gets obsessed with waves.
Yeah.
You see only object. You see only physical reality. What Projecta said. That physical reference becomes absolute reference.
Correct.
And starts the problem. The physical reference is an appearance. Please understand. Forget about Vedanta. Okay, that physical reference that you're talking about is called classical science. It's called Newtonian science. Have you heard of it? What all of us studied in school is called Newtonian physics, Newtonian science. It's old, outdated. Now the modern science is quantum science, quantum physics. So according to quantum physics, there is no physical reality. According to science. So Project, forget, I'm not talking about spirituality, Vedanta. I'm not talking about any scriptures. You're on mute.
Yeah, I get it. So even scientifically,
According to modern science, you are not physical. There's no physical reality. There is only quantum reality. Okay. Now, instead of, you forget that. You think yourself to be this body, this piece of flesh. Okay? Without ever questioning it. And that becomes the prison. Okay?
Limitation.
That becomes a limitation. But deep inside, you always know I'm unlimited. There is a conflict. Deep inside, you're feeling unlimited. There is a craving to be unlimited, free, sufferingless. You want to be without suffering because you know somewhere inside that's my nature. Okay? Then there is a conditioning of the body. So there is a conflict. That resolution of the conflict is called gnana. And the process of gnana is threefold. Okay? And there is no other way. Please understand, this is the only way for liberation. It is the process of gnana, where it's a clarity of understanding. And that understanding results because of shravana, manana, nididhyasa. Shravana means listening. Listening to the truth from the enlightened master. Okay. Then manana. Manana means it becomes internalized. Nididhyasa means to just be in your true self. And the process of gnana is 1 or 0. Either you understand or you don't understand. There's no in between. So it's not like, oh, Guruji, I understood what he said, but what should I do? That means you didn't understand. Either you understand and you become free, or you don't understand. Any doubt? Is it clear? Lokesh, Soumya, Kritik, Panna, Radhika, Soumya, can you go on video? So Praveen, is it clear? It's only 1 and 0. This is gnana. Either you understand or you don't understand. There's no in between. There's no that, okay, I didn't understand, but probably if I do all this sadhana, all this mantra, all this japa, then I'll get it. No. No action will take you there. It's only if you don't get it, you have to pariprashnena. You have to ask question. That is the only way. So it's a process, it's a dialogue. And that dialogue is called Bhagavad Gita. It's a dialogue between, and the dialogue is called Upanishad. Upanishad means dialogue. Bhagavad Gita means a dialogue. But the only difference in this dialogue is you have many dialogues with everybody, with the spouse, husband, wife. Keep having dialogue. Or I don't know, I think with the spouse, it's monologue. So they keep having a dialogue. And you have a dialogue with yourself also. In your head, always there's a dialogue going on. I should not have done this. Why did I do this? Okay. Why? If only I had taken that job. If only I had married that person. If only I had waited some more time. If only I didn't invest in this stock. Or if only I had bought Bitcoin. So there's a constant dialogue going on. Now, what are the nature of the dialogue, of the internal dialogue and the external dialogue that you're having with the world? What are they doing to you? What is talking to the world doing to you? Do you all talk? Do you talk?
Yeah. Yes.
What do you talk? Do you talk to people? So let's take a new something new to slaughter. Kritik, the user. Sorry, ma'am. Your name is Kritik?
No, actually, my name is Lavanya.
Lavanya. Is this
Yes.
your first session, Lavanya ji?
Yes.
You talk to people.
Yeah, I do talk to people
What do you speak?
about the feelings which I have towards those people.
About the feeling that you have towards the people.
Yeah, about the situation, whatever it demands.
Okay. You have spoken for all these years? How many, like what, 30, 35 years you've spoken, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All of you have spoken enough, right?
Yes.
Just
Enough of a people. I think we speak to people according to the situation and according to what we think about that particular situation.
So how much ever you've thought and how much you have spoken, right? And how much of impact that you wanted it to have,
Hmm?
looking back at your entire life, do you think that much thinking and speaking was necessary?
At this point of time, few things I think it was not necessary.
Give me a percentage now, everybody. How much percentage in your entire life that all of you are adults, all of us are adults, all of us have spoken, thought, three things. Kaya, which is action, Kaya, which is word, buddhi, it's thought. Okay. So let's put a test. You have done enough action through your body, enough action through your mouth, enough action through your thinking. When I say thinking, it is desiring, thinking, ideating, everything. Okay, strategizing, then thinking of all scenarios, all that. So how much percentage of that was useful and how much was unnecessary? To get you to the same point where you are now. Please understand, to get you to the same place where you are right now.
Unfortunately, most of it.
Most
Embarrassed to admit.
Okay, sir, disappeared. Tell me, Praveen.
Yeah, I think it's most of it is just just a lot of thoughts. I can't even put a number at this point to
No,
say
my
it is
question
100
is,
to 1.
what percentage of your
That's all.
verbal, physical action was relevant or really important, and what percentage was could have not done away with?
Maybe even less than a percent is just enough to get to where I am right now. Maybe,
Ravi,
but not even that.
other than that,
Um, just a vague guess. I think maybe 30% was unnecessary.
30%.
Yeah.
Soumya,
For me, I think maybe 60 to 70% was unnecessary.
unnecessary. Lokesh sir,
Guruji?
what percentage was necessary? What percentage? So you're at some point in life. The question
Yeah,
is, get to this point, you have done a lot of thinking, talking, physical activity, right? So what percentage of that was necessary to get you to where you are? What percentage of that was you could have not done?
Yeah, Guruji. So for that question, instead of percent, yeah, of course you need the percentage. It is very as the other person said, it's very difficult to percentage give a number there. But I would say whatever that percentage is, it was needed for me to get here.
Okay.
Okay, so was it relevant or irrelevant? No, even irrelevance is relevant actually
Okay.
for me to be here wherever I am here today.
Okay. So you say 100% then? It's 100% then.
Yeah, for me to be here today, the reason for that is 100% that all of that was relevant.
Okay, fine. Sorry, I forgot your name. Use the Karthik. Sorry, what's your name again?
Kritik, my name is Lavanya.
Lavanya. Lavanya ji, what percentage?
I think 60% was unnecessary of talks and unnecessary stuffs which we have done. I think 40% would have been enough and maybe would have used it in more positive way.
Panna ji? आप म्यूट पे है प्रश्न समझ में आ गया पंजी जी?
हाँ
बोलिए
70% was unnecessary
30% यूजफुल ठीक है
हाँ
राधिका जी
जी as Radhika, 100% was all irrelevant thoughts. I
Okay.
thought saying at least 99.09% because that 0.01% maybe this Radhika invested time in learning, and in connecting with that Atma Darshana sessions, but then that is also God's will. So 100% of this body's thoughts, this mind's thoughts are irrelevant.
Relevant. Okay. Oh my God. You've just nullified your whole life in 1 second. So who did I miss? Surabhi ji? Surabhi.
Yes, sir.
So
I
आपका
think my thing like I can't daily is changing. I can't give like is a particular amount because I sometimes I'm very positive, so maybe I will be my 80% I'm okay, and sometimes I'm very dull. Like if something happened to, I can't say the exact percentage for this key.
so the percentage depends on some
My mood and how I spend my whole day, morning, evening, and with whom I'm spending my time, with whom I'm talking. So with whom so sometimes I'm okay, sometimes.
No, that is not my question. My question is, regardless of the condition, you have lived such a long life. In life, you have बहुत कुछ किया है आपने,
Yes.
बहुत कुछ सोचा है आपने, बहुत बात किया है, राइट? बहुत वरी किया है, बहुत स्ट्रेटेजाइज किया है, प्लानिंग किया है, राइट? पर जो जो होना था वो हुआ, जो भी होना था वो
Hmm.
एंड इट गॉट यू टू वेयर यू आर, करेक्ट? तो
Yes. So
कोविड के टाइम में तो क्या-क्या कुछ 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 सोचा है आपने, राइट? जो भी होना था वो हुआ. My question is how much of that effort, and all actions take fuel, energy, okay?
yes.
Everybody understands that? Every action, so there's nothing free. The energy, every thought, every word, every action is consumption of energy. So you have spent energy and you have uh, lived your life. I'm trying to understand that energy that you spent, how much percentage of that you could have saved?
I think 30% only, 20, 30%.
Okay, so today's class is about, we'll find out about that. Okay. Any questions before I go into the
Can I tell you one more thing, Guruji? Yes.
बोलिए.
I'm a bit hesitant actually. There are so many people, but sometimes people use so like my English is not that much good. I'm just translating my Hindi to English, and my vocabulary is also not that much. So sometimes people use that word which I don't understand what's they are telling. What is so if everybody can speak little bit Hindi word, so I can understand bit easily. I don't know people.
हाँ ठीक है. जब भी आपको कुछ नई you don't get something, no, just tell me. I'll rephrase it in Hindi. हाँ.
Thank you.
अभी अभी सब क्लियर है? अभी सब क्लियर है ना? कुछ समझ में
Think
नहीं आया?
so. Think so.
तो मैं दे हूँ. ये आपको समझ में आया? वो टॉपिक समझ में आ गया? मैं
जी
दे
जी
नहीं.
जी.
आप दे है? Are you body?
No.
So what are you?
I'm a soul only. I'm a consciousness.
हाँ. उतना है. आपको जो समझ में आना था वो समझ में आ गया. छोड़ दीजिए.
पर मुझे आई थिंक मैंने ये सिर्फ रट लिया है, अभी दिल तक पहुंचा नहीं है वो, सिर्फ मैंने वो सेंटेंस रट लिया है कि
तो कुछ और नहीं है. So please understand, in spirituality, people think, oh, so many scriptures are there, so many talks, so many gurus, so many mahatmas, so much history. Nothing is there. There's only one statement to understand. Tat Tvam Asi. I am that. Okay? I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am pure consciousness. And this I am pure consciousness is not theoretical knowledge. It will become crystal clear to you, as if like how you think you're the body now, think and feel you're the body now. You will know your self to be consciousness. Okay? It's like the wave that realizes it is water. What happens to the wave after that? What does the wave perceive after that?
again go in the water. going and
It will only
coming.
see. So the wave has realized it is water. It will see another wave. What it will see then?
Yeah, then this will go off and new waves will come.
Nay, does it see a new wave or does it see water again?
It'll see everything as water.
It will see its
Everything
own
is
self,
water.
right? When I become when I realize I am consciousness, what do I see? I see my own self. You understand? Is it clear?
Yes.
That is realization. That is why Shankaracharya told Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. Jagat, Brahma Satya means consciousness is real. Water alone is real. Jagat Mithya means Jagat is Mithya as what you think it is. Not that the Jagat will disappear. Jagat is false as thought, but Jagat is real as consciousness. The ocean is real as water, but the ocean is false as what the wave thinks ocean is. Wave can never put the ocean in its mind. Mind is very small. Okay, reality is very, it's infinite. So it's like I'm trying to hold with my hand space. Can I hold? So hand is like my mind. With my mind, I cannot hold consciousness. You understand? That's what the wave is trying to do. The wave is trying to understand the ocean through its mind. But when the wave realizes I'm water, it understands everything is water. That is called Jivan Mukti. And that is a result of Gnana. So how does the wave get it? One more wave will come. The wave will tell. And that wave is called Guru wave. Okay. And the Guru is also wave. Please understand. Don't think, please never ever think that this Gnana will come some magic, it'll drop from the sky. The process of Gnana has always been from a living master to a living disciple. Okay, it cannot come from a dead master. It cannot come from a photograph. It cannot come from a book. It has to come from a wave which has realized it's water. And not only that, the guru has to match two criteria. He or she should be Brahmanishta, meaning have the realization, and Shrotriya, meaning to be able to teach it or communicate it so that you understand it. Otherwise, there are many waves who have realized, but they cannot teach. You understand? They're called saints, Mahatmas, but they're not gurus. So there are two types of realized being. So Osho used to say very beautifully, there are two types of realized being. One is useful, the other is useless. The useful one is Sadguru. The useless one is that useless in the sense that person is not able to transmit the wisdom to you. So Ramakrishna used to say, give another example. There is a prison. In the prison, there's a big wall. So many people, after a lot of difficulty, they jump over the wall and they run away. They become free. Okay. But some people, they go onto the wall. They don't run away. They are on the wall in between. They're free. At any time they can go. But they wait to help other people escape. And that's called Sadguru. Okay. Sadguru is called Sandhya. So have you heard of Sandhya Vandana? Right? Sandhya Vandana. Suna hai? Sandhya Vandana. What is Sandhya Vandana?
People
Sandhya.
does prayer on Sandhya time. I saw Pallavi's son comes to my home and for sleepover 2 days he stay and he asked me some water and some plate and I think after doing bath or he does for 5 minutes some prayer. I think he was telling me auntie it is Sandhya Vandan. So
Sandhya means Sandhya Kala. Vandan means respect. Sandhya is when it's a point where the day and night are meeting. Neither day, neither night.
yeah.
Sandhya refers to Sadguru. The Sadguru is the meeting point between wave and water. Otherwise, water and wave can never meet. Physical and the transcendental can never meet. This Sadguru is the one who makes that connection. The Jiva and Paramatma become one at Sandhya Kala. And that Sandhya Kala is presence of the master. Okay, the bowing down to the sun is the Pratyaksha Devata. The sun is the representation of the Guru. And I bow down to the sun so that with the Gayatri mantra is a prayer for liberation. Om Bhurbhosva Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. May my intellect blossom in wisdom is the prayer. And that is why it's Sandhya Kala. Okay? So Vedanta is clear. Process is Vedanta. Then the importance of master. Now we'll get into the question about life, about how much words you've used, that test that we did. Any doubts before I change? Yes.
I
Ravi?
have one question. This is in continuation to what Lokesh ji asked. So you mentioned with the dialogue with the master or with Sadguru, you get the liberation from the cycle of birth and death.
Yeah.
So and I think Lokesh ji mentioned that we don't have control over this, and you mentioned that you are that, you Tatvam Asi, so you are that, and you have control. So when we say liberation from the cycle, when I say liberation from cycle of birth and death, it means not bothering about the cycle of birth and death, right? Doesn't mean that. Sorry, were you saying something?
For whom is the birth and death?
For the wave. So when the wave realizes that it is the water, it is unbothered that it will come out as a new wave again in the next second. That is what it means. Or is it something different?
So my question is, for whom is the birth and death?
For the wave.
It means what?
For the jiva.
For the jiva is the birth and death.
Yeah.
The jiva, now where is the jiva? What is jiva?
In the physical body.
Where? Where in the physical body?
In the world, in the Jagat.
Jiva doesn't exist really. There's no such thing as jiva. Please understand.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you had a dream. Let's say you had a dream. In the dream, you went to Paris.
Mm.
Okay. In Paris, you experienced the Eiffel Tower. You ate croissant. You had coffee. Right? There was an experience.
Mm-hmm.
So jiva is the experiencer. Correct?
Yeah.
So there's an experiencer. Correct?
Yeah.
And the experiencer can only experience with a body. So the combination of experiencer and the instrument of experience is called jiva. Correct?
Yeah.
Now, where is that? Is that real?
In the physical world, it is real, right?
So you went to Paris in the dream?
Yeah.
You saw Eiffel Tower?
Mm-hmm.
You experienced croissant?
Mm-hmm.
You won $1 million in lottery. Euro, what is that? Euro lottery. You won $1 million. 1 million euros. Okay, 100 million euros. Fine. Where is that 100 million euros? Where is the 100 million euros?
It's not real.
Where is the one who experienced that 100 million euros?
Also not real.
That is the realization you'll have. That when you wake up, you'll realize that jiva, what you call as jiva itself, is unreal.
Guruji.
Mm.
One second. Clear, Ravi?
But what is happening right now is also real, right? For example, I'm exchanging this dialogue with you, and I'm getting this jnana is also real, right?
For that question, I will refer. You were then the Avasthatraya Prakriya?
Yeah.
So now you tell me, You're telling this is real. Are you sure you're in the waking state?
No.
You can never ever tell whether you're in the dream state or the waking state. Please understand.
Mm.
You are telling this, what I am experiencing right now is real, is based on a lot of hidden beliefs that you have taken to be true for granted. You've never
Mhm.
questioned them. Okay, that's what I did in the last class. I questioned your every single belief about your perception. That's called avasthatraya prakriya,
Mhm.
which I'll take. Of course, there are a lot of newcomers. I'll take them through again. But did you understand what I'm trying to say, Ravi?
Yeah.
So you tell me what you're experiencing now. Let's say, for example, you had a dream tonight. Okay, and we're having the same class.
Mhm.
You will make the same statement that Guruji, what I'm experiencing now with you, I'm talking to you. It's a coherent talk.
Mhm.
Other people are listening, other people on the call. But is it real in the dream?
No.
What is the difference about how is this different from that?
uh, it's not different. So it's the two sides of the same coin, right? Dream and wake state. So you wouldn't know which is dream and which is waking state.
It's not. It's
But
exactly the same. Please
yeah.
understand. The dreaming state and the waking state, there are no two states. There's only one state called dreaming state.
Mhm.
There is no difference. At no point of time will you be able to tell clearly that this is the waking, this is the dreaming.
Yeah.
Because whenever you experience a state, you experience it as if it's a waking state.
As it's a waking. Yeah.
When you're in Paris, you deny that it's a dream state from the point of view of Germany. But when you're in Paris, you will tell, what nonsense. This is real. Praveen, you're raising your hand.
So coming back to my question, how should we perceive liberation? So
You cannot perceive liberation. If it can be perceived, it is not liberation. Liberation is a perception. Perception is a action of the mind using sense organs. Please understand.
Mhm.
When you use the word perception, you want to capture it in the box of knowledge and experience. Okay, that is perception. Perception is always using a sense organ. Correct? No,
how do you understand things? That's perception, right? How do you understand certain things?
Understanding is using a instrument of understanding.
Mhm.
The instrument of understanding is intellect and mind. Okay, so you are trying to capture infinity, put it into a box called mind. It's
Mhm.
like me holding my hand and trying to put space into my hand. It's impossible. But the question is, what is liberation? Is liberation a perception? No. Is liberation experience? No. Because both perception and experience are constantly changing. They're limited.
Mhm.
Liberation is called a perception. Meaning,
Mhm.
first of all, there is no word to describe it. It cannot be brought to the realm of words. And I forget liberation, yaar. Can you express to your child how much you love the child? Do you have a child?
No.
Do you have a spouse?
No.
Okay. Do you have a
Sorry, what?
Do you have a boss?
Yeah.
Can you express to your boss how much you hate your boss?
No.
Is any ordinary human emotion, can you bring it to words? Is it possible? Let's say somebody loves a child. So anybody else has a child? Lavanya, do you have a child?
Yes.
Is it possible to bring into words the love that you have for your child?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
My son is telling yes.
Yeah.
So you can give some hints. Oh, you can tell I love you. You can cook them food. When they're sick, you can be close to them. Some actions and some hints.
Mm.
But what you really objectively feel cannot be put into words. That applies for anger and hate, everything.
Mm.
Any subjective experience. Let's say you have stomach pain. Okay. Can you express in words to make somebody, you go to the doctor, no, I have pain. The doctor asks how much pain you have. How can I experience how much pain I have?
Now connected to desktop viewing.
Can you experience the pain? Can you explain the pain?
No.
No, you can't. You can scream. Okay, that's when the body goes beyond the threshold of expression. It either cries, the tears come out, or there is a silence, or there is a screaming. Please understand. This is the only avenue for the physical body to express that which cannot be expressed. For example, you are in front of the master or God or some divine presence. Simply tears flow. No words can express it. This is about ordinary things. How can you express Brahman? Yeah, Lokeshji, you're raising your hand.
Guruji, you're explaining. That's fine. You continue. Once you're done, I can ask my question.
So, Ravi, is it clear? Realization is not perception. It's perception. Perception will change because the state of perception changes. For example, all your perception is limited to the realm of perception. Right now, you're in the waking realm. Then there's a dream realm. Then there's a deep sleep realm. And each perception is limited to that realm. You cannot take the object of perception from one realm to another realm. For example, if you win 1,000 euros, billion euros, you will not be able to take it to the other realm. Can you take it?
No.
So that perception of 1,000 euros is limited to that realm. So if you have to experience that, you have to stay in that realm.
But isn't realization the feeling of not being bothered if you win 1 billion euros or not, because you know that you cannot take it out anywhere? So isn't it the feeling of disattachment?
No. That is a mental concept. That is your understanding of realization.
Okay.
That is your understanding what realization is based on your storybooks and Amachitra Katha and Mahabharata and Ramayana, or interpretation of that. Realization means to know I am the self, and whatever is the self. So two things. Aham Brahmasmi and Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Okay. So what happens in realization is what the scripture says. Vidyate hridaya grantihi, chidyate sarva samshayah, tasmin drishte paravare. This is the result of realization. Okay. What is it? Vidyate hridaya grantihi. Meaning, there is a hridaya granthi. Hridaya granthi means a knot. There is a suffering. Deep inside, there is a feeling of separation that I have. I feel I'm an individual, and I feel I'm a limited being, and I feel I'm conditioned. Okay? That granthi is broken. Vidyate hridaya granthi. Chidyate sarva samshaya. Samshaya means there is absolutely no doubt about what is reality and who I am. Who I am, there is no doubt. I am Brahman, there is no doubt. Okay? Chidyate sarva samshaya. Tasmin drishte paravare. Meaning, my thought, feeling, perception, experience is always paravare. It's always that which is para. Para means beyond. It cannot be told what. That's why it's told para. Para is the line that you use, the word that you use. Okay, para means beyond. It's beyond words. It is beyond thought. It is beyond experience. It is beyond expression. Okay, but you know it as me, reality. And please don't think it's something beyond, something mysterious. I'll tell you what it is very simply. Close your eyes, Ravi.
Okay.
Okay. Now think of a flower.
Okay.
Okay. Think of pineapple.
Okay.
Think of let's say gold.
Okay.
Think of some other person, maybe father, mother, grandparent, somebody.
Okay.
Okay. Now take your attention. Think of just I. pure I. Open your eyes. What do you see in I? When I told flower, you see a flower?
Yeah.
When I say I, what do you see?
Blank.
That is you. That is para. That is Parabrahm. It's not blank. Please understand. Blank is a word that you use to communicate what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not blank. It is in that blank, you know you are.
Mm.
How can you say it's blank then?
Attributeless. That's what.
It is attributeless, but there is a knowledge that it is attributeless, right?
Yeah.
That makes it not blank. That makes it consciousness.
Mm.
You understand the difference between blank and consciousness?
Mm-hmm.
Blank means nothingness.
Mm.
God is not nothingness. God is full of awareness.
Knowing that there is nothing.
That knowing is chit.
Mm.
And there is a sat. Sat means existence. There is an existence. And you cannot deny that existence. Okay, flower you can deny. It's a figment of my imagination. Person you can deny. It's a figment of my imagination. Everything perceived, you can deny it, telling it's a figment of my imagination. But you will never be able to deny your own existence.
Mm.
That is called sat. You can deny your body. For example, in deep sleep, there's no body. Okay, but there'll never be a point in your own experience, even samadhi, waking, dreaming, deep sleep, where you don't exist. That is impossible. And that is called sat, pure existence. Then that pure existence is not nothingness. It is conscious, chit. And in that sat and chit, there is ananda, because there's no sense of ananda means not ananda is falsely translated as bliss or happiness. Ananda simply means ananta. There is no limitation. There is no sense of limitation. I feel limitless. That is called ananda.
Mm.
You understand? So what is liberation? If you have to understand, just think of I. That moment you're liberated. The moment you fall out of the I into the ego, false notion of I, into body mind, then you're trapped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 1 or 0. You can either stay in the reality as I, or you can fall into false notion of I. So you've already lived many, many lifetimes as false notion of I. So this is an opportunity for you to find out real I.
Mm.
That's why Ramana Maharshi told, simple question. Ask, who am I? That's all. Yes, sir. Lokesh ji, you can ask the question. Lokesh ji?
Yes, coming on unmute. Okay. Guruji, a couple of points. Okay. Yeah, very valuable discussions, very a lot of information there. So it's in the same lines. Like, I mean, was that Ravi ji, he took my, further to my whatever question I had raised. So there, correct me if my understanding is incorrect or if it needs to be modified. Okay. So now, first point is, you were giving the example of those, the dream, right? So dream, you asked certain questions. It was nice. Like, I mean, yeah, we dreamt of something and the experience was there. So in reference to that, are you actually saying the current situation, whatever we are experiencing, is similar to the dream for the Atma?
So the current experience you are having, so
Yeah.
you missed the avasthatraya prakriya. So there's the analysis of waking, dreaming, deep sleep state. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a Vedantic process. It's a very, very important process where you examine what is the reality of your current experience. So currently, what state are you in right now?
So yeah, so that is what I'm saying. So currently I'm experiencing me. So yeah, whatever that me is there, right? The me is experiencing. It looks like an explanation from that Swamiji, the jokes that we received. So me, Okay, so I am actually experiencing this. When you take from that perspective, it can be can it be referenced as a dream for me? Yeah, of course it is active. We are all doing many things. We are experiencing all of that. But can it still be referenced like a dream?
Everything is all that you're saying, me, experience, other people, everything is a projection of the mind.
Projection. So it is similar to the dream. For
It is
somebody else, it is a dream.
for somebody else also is part of the dream. Please understand, there is nobody
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, that somebody else is me only.
There is only Atma. See,
Yeah,
all you have to do is you
yeah.
have to see from whose point of view is the question. From the point of view of wave, if you ask the question, or the point of view of water. From the point of view of water, what will water tell? What wave? What dream? What waking? There's nothing for water.
Nothing. Yeah.
Because water will tell I alone exist.
So correct. Okay. So in a way, that's correct. So it's from my experience, from my perspective, it's the current state is very much active. It is the live environment. But for Atma, it is similar to dream.
No, again you're splitting me and Atma.
Okay. I am Atma.
When you say my, who is that my?
My. Yeah. True.
Who's me?
Me. Okay.
Now, tell me? Please tell me.
So, okay. So that was the one clarification, like my understanding. Okay. So I was.
Haley, who is that? I want to know who is me. Yaradu me. Who? Nano. Who is me? You understand Kannada?
Kannada, yes.
ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಅದು ಯಾವ ನಾನು ಯಾರದು ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ಮೀ
ನಾನು
ಹೂ ಇಸ್
ನಾನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆತ್ಮನೇ ಆತ್ಮಗೆ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ
ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಾನು ಇಸ್ ಆತ್ಮ
ಅಲ್ವಾ
ಆತ್ಮನ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನಾನು ಆತ್ಮ ಆದಾಗ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಬೇರೆ ಏನೋ ಆದಾಗ ದೆನ್ ದರ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್
So the entire process of realization is to stay as Atma, to realize I am not the body. Because the moment you say I'm experiencing world, you have brought body into picture. You've already identified with the body. Because experience of the world is impossible without identification with the body. Please understand. In the dream, if you have to experience Paris, you have to have a dream body. Right? And you have to identify with, oh, I am this dream body, I am in this place and that. The same way, the moment you brought reality to the object or the world, you have already identified with the body. You've already made the mistake. And that is called sin. Aparada in Sanatana Dharma. Have you heard of sin? Papa? Papa, right?
For the explanation sake, like on the purpose, for that purpose, I had to separate, like if we have to take the reference of a body and Atma, on the two existence, it's easy to explain. So so that's why to separate
utility value Mari. But the moment you tell that is reality, it becomes trouble.
Very good. And the second point is like the form, wave form ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ. So I'll tell it in English only so that everybody can follow. So
can everybody else go on video? I need to see the reactions and the faces.
So with respect to the water example, water, ocean, wave, all that example. So again, can it be said like the if we reference that inexistence of water is also a physical form. There might be another form which is unexplainable, cannot be seen, Atma, very much similar to Atma, but it is taking the form of water, and wave is the form of water. Can it be looked at like? Can it be looked like that?
So there's an analogy. Always in reality, for example, you're in Bangalore and you want to go to Mysore. So you see a board there, way to Mysore. Then you hold the board and say, oh, I've reached Mysore. No. The board is just a pointer. Alva? So then there is a child. A child wants to see the moon. Mother says, look, there's a moon. Okay. Then the child will not look at the finger. The child look at where the finger is pointing. So all the analogies used in Vedanta, be it the rope and snake, stories, right? These comparisons, they're all pointers. Okay, they're only pointers to tell. See, water is like pure consciousness. It is beyond perception. Wave is like the jiva because it has a name and form. Water has no name and form. Okay, and then ocean is collection of many waves. So that is the analogy. So Brahman is, please understand, Brahman is beyond name and form, beyond thought. You are that. Okay, it's not that you will become that one day. You will come to my class and then you will become Brahman. No. Whether you know it or you don't know it, you are that. Whether wave knows it or not, the wave is water. Nothing can change that.
Okay.
The wave is a dependent reality. Water is an independent reality. And you are Brahman. There is no no guru can make you Brahman. The guru can only remove. Guru's job. That's why guru means the one who removes, not one who adds. You know that the word guru means the one who destroys. And that's why Shiva is called Guru. He doesn't do any constructive activity. Guru doesn't give you anything. He only removes the misconception that I am the body mind. So the way is already water. You are already that. Nobody can make you that. The only question Guru is asking is, why are you suffering? When you are infinite, when you're consciousness, when you're birthless, when you're deathless, when you're bodiless, when everything is happening in you, when everything is a projection, why are you suffering? That's the question. Instead of that, you start identifying with the body. You start identifying with something that you created. And so it's like there's a beautiful story. There's a sculptor. The sculptor is a very advanced sculptor. And he goes to astrologer. Astrologer tells, tomorrow you're going to die. So what the sculptor does is he wants to trick Yama. Yama will come to take him. So what he does is he creates sculptures of himself. Many, many sculptures, hundreds of sculptures. Then the Yamadutas come. They don't know who is real. Okay. So they go back and tell Yama, oh, we don't know who is real one. Then Yama comes. Yama has a condition that he can only put his noose only once. If he does wrong, then that person is saved. He cannot take him. So he has only one shot where he can put the noose, the thread. No. So then he is looking at all the sculptures. Everything looks real. Everything looks like the person, sculptor. So now Yama is a Gnani. So he goes to the sculptor, one sculpture, and he says, wow, such a beautiful sculpture, so lifelike. Okay. But there's some small mistake in the nose. The moment he says that, the sculpture asks, where is it? Yama puts the nose. So you are Brahman, but that small attachment, oh, mine, me, gets you into trouble. And that trouble lasts for millions of years. That's all. You understood?
Yeah.
You are Brahman, but identifying with the body gets you into all sorts of trouble. All sorts of unnecessary thinking, action, worry, suffering.
So what happens when we stop thinking like that, Guruji?
Allah, when you realize you're Brahman, thinking doesn't stop. What happens is, I told you, right? The mind has over 70,000 thoughts. Most of them will disappear. Okay, because you see through the falseness of the thinking process. Because the thinking process is built on the foundation of false assumptions of me and the world. Okay, that will collapse. Then what will happen is the Gnani is still able to operate in the world. For example, Krishna or Rama or Ramakrishna or any Mahatma is able to operate in the world meaningfully. How they operate is not with a thinking process, in a spontaneous wisdom, like a child. Like a child is spontaneous. Child's action is not biased by past and future. It's pure innocence pure love, pure curiosity in the present moment. The only difference between child and the Gnani is the Gnani is also as pure as the child, but the only difference is Gnani is not innocent. Gnani is awakened. So Krishna's actions are in the present, total present. What is required in that moment, he will do. And it is unconditioned by the past or the future. Okay? So Krishna will tell Arjuna, Karna is fixing his chariot. His arms are down. Now is the right time to kill him. It is a spontaneous action. Okay? And he has no karma. Okay? But for us, the action is not spontaneous. Reaction is spontaneous. Okay? Somebody says something, immediately we react. And where is the reaction coming from? It's coming from a programmed behavior. So from a programmed behavior, programmed thinking, you become free to live life spontaneously, take action spontaneously, to respond to life spontaneously, right? Gnani will evaluate whether an action is required, whether shutting my mouth is the right thing, okay? But Agnani doesn't have the choice. When you get angry, do you have the choice to choose what to say? It just bursts out, okay? Because the constant thinking is happening. Gnani is thoughtless. Then some thought has to come. The thought comes from the present moment, the present reality, uninfluenced by the past or the future. That is life after Gnana.
Life after?
Gnana. I don't think that, after Gnana, I'll become thoughtless, I'll become potato. No. After Gnana, you become free from all unwanted thoughts. Another thing that happens is, I told you, to think a thought, the body spends energy, right? Now, when 70,000 thoughts are gone, the body is filled with energy, unused energy. And that unused energy, it goes and opens up various centers of the brain, which are never ever used or never ever opened up. That is why Gnanis, the action of a Gnani, the word of the Gnani, the sankalpa of a Gnani has a much bigger impact. For example, what Buddha did after 2,500 years also, people are finding the benefit. Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, okay, which was 5,000 years ago, but that will continue. So the words that Swami Vivekananda spoke will continue because they're not words of the ego, they're words from consciousness.
Yeah, true.
So that word is coming from a power which was awakened because the energies operated through various other centers of the brain, which is never used in a normal scenario. Please understand, by the age of 20, you are hardwired. You know what is hardwiring? Hardwired means your brain is hardwired. Your neural pathways are locked. Whatever has been taught to you, you think that throughout your life. Okay, you understand that?
Yeah.
No new neural pathways don't happen. You go on recycling the same garbage that has been taught to you for the first 20 years. In Gnana, you become free from all those programs. Okay, that is why the scriptures say Gnana is freedom from karma. The karma is that hardwiring. You become free from that hardwiring. Then you can create the future that you want for yourself and the world. So Gnani uses that energy, uses that freedom for Loka Kalyana. That's it.
Right. Yeah.
I think
Not-
drastically. See, somebody's a doctor, doesn't have Gnana, gets Gnana, what will happen? Now that energy, the same energy, is used in his profession. That spontaneous, detached action comes into his profession. That's all. Whatever you are, you will be that, but with the flavor of Gnana. That's all.
So is it possible to, Andre, if we look at it, there is a process going on wherein most of the minds are getting hardwired, and at some point in time, those human beings, they have to detangle all of that and then become grannies. So a proper hardwiring or proper education or proper knowledge sharing with from the childhood, Andre.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that would be even
And India had that system.
hmm,
Until the British came, India had 60 lakh gurukuls.
hmm.
You know, when was the first? So I was telling this to children in the last class. The first school that Britain had. You know, when that was?
Hmm. Probably sometime in 1500s, I think.
1717.
17. Okay.
Okay, and by that time, India had 60 lakh gurukuls, which is from before Christ, 5,000 years before Christ,
Okay.
the time of Mahabharata. And Mahabharata is a history book. It is not a myth. It is a history book.
Hmm.
Okay, and what was taught in the Gurukul? Paravidya and Aparavidya. This wisdom was given to a child.
Hmm.
Now, instead of giving the child the notion that you are Brahman, you tell the child all the concepts, false concepts. The child will get hardwired, right?
Yeah.
So now, unfortunately, we all didn't get that luxury of that education. We went to convents and we went to some other schools where we were taught many things. Nobody taught us. Nobody taught us Bhagavad Gita. Anybody taught you Bhagavad Gita in school?
No.
Do you teach yourself? Do you teach your children Bhagavad Gita?
No.
Please understand. In the other religions, they have no choice. Okay, the child is Christian. Bible is taught. If you're born in in the Islam tradition, you have to study Quran from a young age.
Yeah.
But the moment you're born in Sanatan Dharma, you can do whatever you want.
Hmm.
Okay, no child is taught Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, outdated. Arey bhai, you have to teach the child the highest wisdom that you are consciousness.
Exactly.
But that only happened in the last few hundred years because India went through 1,000 years of war. Don't forget that. Okay, so even after 1,000 years of war, everything is preserved. That is the grace of the rishis and mahatmas. So it'll come back. It's changing.
Yeah.
That problem statement is going to disappear with the modern technology and with the awareness now. India as a nation will go back to its glory. Okay, where the wisdom of Atma Gnana will become household discussions. So don't worry about that. So shall we take up the next topic? Any other questions? Prajakta disappeared or are you there? Lavanya ji, clear? Is it too heavy? Surabhi ji?
No, I'm very much here trying to understand. Not that I claim that I understood, but trying to absorb every word.
Okay, any doubts before I go to the next topic?
Only more doubts and more questions. So I think I'll listen in because I am hopeful. I have faith that hopefully things slowly and surely they will unravel themselves.
No, but did you understand the part of where what is enlightenment and what is the realization of I, and that I am that? Is that clear?
I would like to say yes, but if you're going to ask any questions or anything, so I would like to believe yes.
Okay. So, and one more thing about Vedanta, it's not a matter of belief. Vedanta is not about belief. The entire Sanatan Dharma is not about belief. The belief word doesn't exist in Sanatan Dharma. Okay. Belief means you are strong arming somebody else into taking something for as true without verifying and validating. Okay.
But Guruji, to say I know is such a heavy responsibility. But knowing something is not just understanding, it's experiencing as well, right? So if I say
No, that's the thing. Brahman is not about experience. So you can never make the statement that just because I don't experience Brahman. For example, does the earth go around the sun or sun goes around the earth?
Earth goes around the sun.
Earth goes around the sun. Have you ever experienced it?
No.
What is your experience, day-to-day experience? Sun goes around the earth, right? That is your experience.
Yes, because it moves in the sky for me. Yes.
Your experience is ulta, but your knowledge is what? Earth goes around the sun, correct?
Yes.
Now, which is true? Experience is true or knowledge is true?
Tricky. In this instance, knowledge weighs more.
Knowledge outweighs your false experience. Please understand. Correct? For example, a drunkard is drunk and he sees that the road is moving. It is experience, but it is false.
Yes, very true. Very true.
Okay.
Yeah. Good
Okay.
example. I think, yeah, I like that. Yeah, I can remember that one.
The truth is he's drunk.
Drunk.
For
Okay.
you, he doesn't believe he's drunk, right?
So when Romeo sees Juliet, the Juliet can be horrible, but for Romeo, she's very beautiful.
True.
Okay. His experience is something else when the reality is something else. Okay. So never, spirituality has nothing to do with experience. Please understand. First thing, this is a very important lesson because everybody in the spiritual journey is searching for some experience. So you go to any ashram, anywhere, people want experiences. Oh, I want to see some light. I want to see God standing in front of me with 4 hands and blessing me, light coming out of his hand. Okay, I want something to change in my perception, colors I should see. All that is experience, and all experiences are false. You understand that, everybody? Lavanya ji, clear?
Yes.
All experiences, including spiritual experiences, are false. Any doubt in that? So if somebody says, I know something because I experience it, you do not experience it. So you say, Namaste, bye-bye. Because experience is not the criteria for realization. Okay? So then you'll read all these books. Okay, Guru Charitra and something Mahatma, and you'll see, you read, oh, that person was able to see Krishna, see Rama. Then you'll take, oh, I cannot see Krishna, Rama, I can only see my husband. The same fellow is coming. So then you're in trouble.
If I take out my glasses, I can't even see my husband.
So please understand. Atma Darshana doesn't mean that you will see Atma. Oh, I will say I'm seeing Atma. No. It is about crystal clear clarity of who I am. And who I am is not an experience. It is a subjective, intuitive knowledge. Like how you have subjective, intuitive knowledge that the earth goes around the sun. Although your experience says ulta, you never have a doubt. Every day in your 30 years of life, not one day have you seen earth going around the sun. Neither have you ever gone to Elon Musk and taken a rocket in space and seen from space earth going around the sun. But do you have any doubt that the earth doesn't go around the sun? Why you don't have doubt?
Haven't at least read, been told, or
You don't have a doubt because in your second standard, in primary school, Sita ma'am told that earth goes around the sun. And she told it just entered inside you. You have no doubt. Then Guru comes in your life, okay, who is the Brahmanishta. He comes and tells, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, he or she comes and tells, you are Brahman, you are not the body, you are not the mind. That you want to counter. Panna ji, teacher ने बोला, earth going around the sun, you never questioned it.
No.
Guru comes and tells, you are divine. Why is it hard for you to accept that? See, other people telling something, I understand. The salesman tells you are very pretty, it's because he has some agenda, hidden agenda. Okay? Your husband tells some maska, oh, you're looking so nice today because some agenda is there. Your boss tells, oh, you're the best employee, there's some agenda to make you work. Okay? Your child comes and tells, Mama, you're the best mama, because something is coming up next. But when Guru tells, Guru has no agenda. Guru doesn't need anything from you. Krishna doesn't want anything from Arjuna. Okay? When Guru tells you are Brahman, it is not to get something out of you. Why is it so hard for you to accept that? Why have you become such a, how do I say, hardwired, tough nut to crack? And that is the problem of spirituality. It is nothing else. The problem is not gnana. The problem is letting go of our preconceived notions. And that is the only reason. That is the only reason, please understand. When somebody goes to Mahatma, Mahatma sends them away. Go do service, go do sadhana, go finish all that and come. Not because the Mahatma needs some work to be done. So that even if the Mahatma tells you that you are that, you don't listen to it. All sadhana is just so you are pure enough to receive what the Guru gives. Please understand. The result of sadhana is Shravana. Is it clear? All sadhana is just to purify your mind. Sadhana doesn't lead to gnana. Sadhana leads to purification of the mind. When the mind is purified, and provided you are fortunate enough to meet a guru, then if the guru says Tattvamasi, it's over. No doubt. Okay. But the guru is not fortunate. Even if you are fortunate to get the guru, you should be fortunate to get such a disciple. Okay. Who just gets it. But most of the time, gurus don't get such a disciple. Guru has to do work. First, guru has to clean up all the mess, remove all the belief programs. Okay. Then give the gnana. You are that. So it's too much to understand. Any doubts?
That's a very nice challenging for Guru actually.
Are Guru, Gurus
Guru, yeah, Guru.
in the Satya Yuga, right? In the Satya Yuga is told the Gurus used to beat and torture, okay, the disciple. In the Treta Yuga, the Gurus used to scold, okay. In the Dwapar Yuga, the Gurus used to punish if the disciple does something wrong. In the Kali Yuga, the guru has to beg, Are Pa, please come to the class. I will teach you. Please sit down. Please ask me questions. Okay, please let me tell you some good things. That is the state. But on the flip side, on the bright side for you, in Satya Yuga, to get Gnana is very difficult. It's thousands of years. That's why you see all the stories, no? The rishis are all, the anthill has grown on him and he's become beard and everything. Then Paramatma comes. Okay? Kali Yuga, the beauty is Atmagnana can happen like this. Because you're constantly boiling. You're constantly in a state of stress. In no other yuga, there's so much stress. Okay? In Satya Yuga, there's no stress. That's why liberation is very hard to get. Because there's no stress at all. In Treta Yuga and Dwapar Yuga, stress is little more. In the Kali Yuga, the stress is the most because there's one war happening. The kind of food you're eating is poison. Then COVID is happening. Then the stock market is falling down. Then the IT jobs are AI is coming and taking up IT jobs. Then the children are not listening to me. Children are becoming something else. Okay? The heat is so much. The fire under your bottom is so much that gnana can happen so easily. So you're all fortunate to have been born Kali Yuga.
So next yuga is Satya Yuga, Guruji.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಹೇಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಯುಗ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯುಗ is depending on collective consciousness. So it's like a pendulum. So pendulum starts like this: Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali. Then suddenly it doesn't go to Satya. It again has to go back. Kali, Dwapara, Treta, Satya. But that is from a society point of view. A Gnani, the moment you get liberation, the moment you realize I am not the body, you're already in Satya Yuga. Like you can be here, like somebody, it's you can't look at somebody's physical presence and tell where they are. In the same house, somebody can be in heaven, somebody can be in hell. Somebody can be in Brahmaloka, somebody can be in Patalaloka, in the same house. You understand? So somebody can be in Bhuloka, somebody can be in Swargaloka, somebody can be in Patala.
ಯಾವ ಯುಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು?
Alapa, in your own house, I'm telling. For example, look at the world. If you are in India is called Karma Bhumi. Everything is balanced. Okay, it's Bhuloka. If you go to some place like America, it's like Swarga, land of milk and honey. If you go to Palestine or Israel, it's Narka, hell. Right? The same geography, the same earth. People are
Everything is here.
realms. So realm is not physiological. Realm is psychological.
Yeah.
A Gnani, regardless of where he is, Krishna is on the battlefield. That's why Bhagavad Gita is told on the battlefield. Please understand. Bhagavad Gita is not told in the garden or in the palace. It is told in the battlefield because Krishna is in Satya. Arjuna is in Asatya.
Okay.
Battlefield is the same for both of them. Both of them can get killed. But Krishna is in bliss, Arjuna is in suffering.
Okay.
Clear? So that's what I'm telling. These are all hard wiring. We've been hardwired to think of, we have a notion of God. We have a notion of realization. We have a notion of who I am. We have a notion of what is life after realization. All of them are notions. None of them is real. So if I have to tell in a very truthful way, whatever you think you know is false.
Whatever you think is true is false.
Whatever you think is true is false. Okay? And the guru's job is to show it to you one by one. Take out one by one everything. See, this is what you think you are. Prajakta started, no, I am woman. That I am woman is false. You're not woman. So by the time the guru is done with you, nothing will be left. You'll be naked. When I say naked in the true sense, not even with the body. Okay? In the word English, naked means no clothes on the body.
Yeah.
In the spirituality, naked means no body. By the time the guru is done with you, nothing will remain. No concept, no illusion, no word. Just you'll become no questions, nothing. Just bliss and true self. That is called liberation. And don't think again, oh, that will distort my life. That distorting the life concept, that is why, again, go back to the Bhagavad Gita. The teaching of Krishna is not to distort Arjuna, is to actually make him more functional in the world. Gnana will make you successful in the world. Please don't think Gnana will make you withdraw from it. Because Gnana give you the realization, the world is myself. And when you relate to the world as myself, you are successful. You're not a failure.
So this leads to the liberation from life and death. Alva?
Life and death, life and death yaarige? For whom is the life and death?
That's again, it will be part of the dream, but so there's no existence on there. Okay.
So life and death I'll take up. The entire session is on life and death, okay?
Okay.
I told you, whatever you think is true is false. Whatever you think is birth.
So there is no life and death then in that case, when you are liberated.
No, even now, even without liberation.
Okay. Yeah.
See, you forget the spirituality. According to modern science, everything is quantum. Everything is energy. Can energy be created?
Right.
If energy is neither created nor destroyed, what is this concept of life and death?
True.
Life and death is a concept. I'm saying it's a concept. So enlightenment is freedom from all concepts, including the concept of enlightenment. Okay, even enlightenment is a concept, because for whom is the enlightenment? Does Atma need enlightenment? Does Paramatma need enlightenment?
Actually not, but enlightenment our state is bandira. It doesn't need actually, but because of all this surrounding things, it
That is also one concept. Because of surrounding things, another concept. Okay. Now, to break that concept, Krishna had to tell Gita in the battlefield. So because people have a concept that enlightenment can only happen in Himalayas in ashram. Okay. Then people have a concept that enlightenment takes many, many years. You know how long is Bhagavad Gita? It's a half-an-hour dialogue.
Okay.
There are 700 shlokas. To have it as a dialogue, it takes 30 to 40 minutes. So 30 to 40 minutes, Arjuna is awakened. Now, what is this concept of enlightenment takes time? That is a concept. So you see, you look at your own thoughts, what all concepts you have. And the question is, the thing is, you don't even know you're living in a concept. If you know, you can ask to come out of it, but you don't know only. You don't know the drunkard doesn't know he's drunk, and the drunkard thinks this is real. That is the problem. So you take the concept as real and you go on living until a time the guru comes into your life. Please understand, until guru comes into life, you don't know. Like that's why there is the movie Matrix. How many of you seen the movie Matrix?
Matrix.
So until that person comes and tells you're in the Matrix, he doesn't even know he's in the Matrix. So that is Maya. Okay, any other questions? I think today we can't take up the new topic because that will take up almost 1 hour. Today we can consider it as more of a, see, don't think this is an introduction, there is more. For the guru to tell this, there's only this much. If you understand, I am not body, I am not mind, I am consciousness, there's nothing more to tell. Everything else is just a reinforcement of that truth. And it's like peeling the onion. The mind has built so many layers of concepts. So the guru's job is to peel that one by one, one by one. And when everything is peeled, nothing is there. So one day, one person came to Buddha. So Buddha had many enlightened disciples. Okay, he had like almost 10,000 enlightened. They were called Arihantas. Okay, even in Jainism, they're called Arihants. So Surabhi, are you there?
Yes.
तो अरिहंत सुना है आपने?
जी.
नमो का मंत्र सुना है? ओम नमो
जी.
अरिहंताय,
अरिहंताय.
ओम
नमो सिद्धाय.
तो अरिहंत जो होता है वो ज्ञानी है. ओके.
अच्छा.
अरिहंत मीन जिसने अपने अंदर का कॉन्सेप्ट का अंत किया है. One who has killed the false concept is called Arihant. Okay, he's an enlightened being. So Buddha had many arhants. One day, and Buddha, because he was a prince, as Siddhartha, he attracted many kings to be his disciples. So one day, one king comes to him. He tells Buddha, I have a lot of questions. I have so many questions. Okay, I want you to give me answer. And he's a king, like how the king expects a preferential treatment, like a celebrity expects preferential treatment. In the temple, there's some special line, special entrance, no? Like that special, I want special gnan from Buddha. So Buddha tells, I'll answer every single question. I'll give you 100% attention. But exactly 365 days from today, 1 year, exactly 365 days. And 365 days, you just sit next to me. You'll be the closest person to me. So there's one close person who's sitting next to Buddha. He tells, get up, you get up, let him sit. So wherever I go from today, this person, this king will sit next to me. He's the closest person to me. And I'll not answer his question. You just have to be with me. That's all. No other instruction. Just be the closest person to me. And exactly 1 year later, you ask me question. So that person who's already there, right, who gets up, he tells the king, he calls the king to the side. He tells the king, be very careful. Because many years ago, I also came like you, asking Buddha, I have a lot of questions. Buddha told me the same thing. 365 days, you sit here and ask me the question 1 year later. So I sat with him for 1 year and I completely forgot about the questions. But he came to me very promptly on the 365th day. He came to me and asked me, okay, now tell me your questions. But by that time, I had no questions. My mind was shut down. No questions, no answers, no concepts, nothing. I was free. So if you have a question, ask right now. After 1 year of being with the Buddha, your mind will just dissolve. Okay, and that is the greatness of the Guru. The association, that is called Satsanga. That's why Shankaracharya tells Satsangatve Nissangatvam, Nissangatve Nirmohatvam, Nirmohatve Nischalatatvam, Nischalatatva Jivan Mukti. The answer to all your problems in life is Satsanga. Association with the master. When you get associated, just everything just starts collapsing. All false notions start collapsing on their own, without effort, without doing, just by the, it's like you go sit near fire, you'll become warm, like that. Let's say you're frozen, you're ice. You just go sit near fire, everything will melt on its own. In the same way, the ego, the individuality melts. And when the individual melts, what remains? When the individual melts, only the totality remains. And in totality, there are no two totalities. There's no totality me and Guru. No, even that dissolves. There is only totality. There is only Guru. Sadguru alone remains. Okay, so with that, I'll stop my threads for today. If there's any question, we can take up. Otherwise, we can close for the day. Prajakta, any questions? Now let's see some faces. If there's some light or darkness in the faces.
No questions, Guruji.
Dharma?
Dhanyavad.
No questions, Prajakta. Everything is clear.
No.
Are you a woman?
No.
Are you Prajakta?
No.
Does Prajakta exist in deep sleep?
No.
What exists in deep sleep? Do you exist in deep sleep?
No.
You do exist. How do you tell I don't exist in deep sleep? There's somebody who knows that I don't exist in deep sleep, right? That person exists. Who is that? Who knows you don't exist in deep sleep? That is you. That is called Atma.
Atman.
And that Atman is light. He's always on. It can never be switched off. Coma, deep sleep, waking, dreaming, it can never be switched off. And you are that. In the state of intoxication, you think you're Prajakta. It's like Rajinikanth is playing the role of a beggar, forgets he's Rajinikanth and starts believing he's a beggar. That's what happened to you. Atma, playing the role of Prajakta, forgets it is Atma and becomes Prajakta. Now the process of Gnana is not to make Prajakta into Atma, not to make the beggar into Rajinikanth. That is impossible. Is just to help the beggar realize, oh, you're Rajinikanth, you're not beggar. Same way, the Guru's job is to help you realize you're Atma. You're not Prajakta. Of course, you play the role of a Prajakta. It's transactional. And please don't go and tell this in the transactional world. Don't go and tell your husband, I am Atma, I am God. Do service. Don't go and tell your boss, hey, I am Atma. Okay? You play the role, but don't ever become the role. Lavanya ji, clear? सुरभि जी, समझ में आ गया? कुछ क्लैरिफाई करना है? प्रदीप? तो आपके लिए नमकार मंत्र एक बार पूरा मैं बताऊंगा. So नमोकार मंत्र is one of the most beautiful pieces of wisdom. It's a very short Jain verse where you're just paying salutations to the enlightened one.
Yeah.
Focus is Gnana. You're asking, please give me Gnana. Yes, Praveen, you were raising your hand.
Yeah, Guruji, I'm now wondering whether to ask the question or not. I
Okay.
raised my hand twice, so I know you have a stick. So, yeah, my question is, first question is whether I should be asking or not, because I'm thinking if I have the question, that means I have not understood. So the thing is, I understand I'm playing multiple roles, right? It doesn't need a lot of, a heavy amount of realization, but just a simple concept that, I sit in front of computer, I'm an employee, and I get out of the room, I'm a thing. But still, it is really hard to let go of a role and say that, draw that clear boundary that that individuality is so ingrained that it's hard to get out of it. And I do try to constantly ask nowadays. It's becoming easier. I tried it for 4-5 hours where I had some kind of I don't want to call it anxiety, but more like, hey, what should I do about this next? What should I do about this next? This is something I should. So I was like, okay, who is this thought for? Who is this thought for? I went on like that for 4-5 hours. And after that, I felt like, okay, so all of those thoughts were, you could have batched them and you had asked, it could have been easily asked one thing, was it necessary? And all of the answer I got was not necessary. But if I had continued with my old behavior, I would have been acting to each of those thoughts.
Yeah. So please understand, Pradeep, Praveen. Gnana is not a matter of repetition or the inquiry. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? It's not a who am I? It's not a japa. It's not converting the Gnana again into action. Okay. Gnana is clarity. So whenever it's either there or not there. Okay. So in the absence of clarity, what is there? Your vasanas will take over, impressions will take over. So what is happening is either your impressions are taking over or there is a clarity. So when there is impressions are taking over, the only difference between them is either when what makes you realize you're in Gnana or clarity is until you're established in Gnana. So Gnana is establishment, right? When it's unshakable. Nothing can shake it. No matter what happens in the outer world, it cannot shake. Until you get to that point, like how when a plant grows, right? They put a they put that fence or like a barbed wire so that animals don't come and eat it. So until that gnana is established, you need that satsang, constant exposure. Then there'll come a time when you don't need it anymore. Like until the pain goes, you need the medicine. After the pain, you yourself will know when to stop the medicine. Okay, so until that point, you need the satsang. And once the gnana is established, you don't need anybody's light. That's why Buddha told, be the light onto yourself. Light will dawn from within. You exactly know what to be done, what is to do, what direction to take in life, how to live life. And you also know that if you don't know, to seek help from somebody else. See, just because somebody's gnani doesn't mean he knows all the answer. Like in the Ramayana, Rama is Purushottama. But when Lakshmana is hit with the arrow, he calls a doctor.
Yes.
He doesn't tell, I am going to heal Lakshmana. Right? When he needs a bridge to be built, he doesn't go and build the bridge. He takes help. Just because this is gnani doesn't mean you know all the subjects. Whatever direction you know, you will take. If you don't know, you will have the humility to ask somebody to take the direction. Yeah. But everything you will do without the sense of individuality. That's all. Without the sense of karma. You understand? Right now, there's a continuity for the individuality, the ego. Praveen. When that disappears, everything will happen. Your life.
Little bit, not water. Alan, night.
The question is, can your life happen without Praveen?
Yeah, that's can life happen without Praveen? Yeah, whose life, right? I mean, I've seen enough deaths already around and thing around. So I ask myself, the thing is, okay, the person was existing in front of my eyes is no more, and now you understand that the world exists even before or after them. So the thing here is now, is a world done for them? Yes, in their current avatar or whatever it is. But for me, in the Praveen, what this individual just a temporary phase is, world will continue to exist even I'm there or not. But until I am there as a temporary entity, it does matter, right? So yeah,
temporary entity is not there. You think it is there.
Okay.
That is the difference. That temporary entity, you are giving reality to it moment to moment. In gnana, you stop giving reality to it. Not that it will disappear. You will use it whenever it is required. So for example, Guru also uses the ego, okay, to teach, because without that you cannot teach. Okay, but Guru doesn't become that ego. Doesn't become that. Guru has no notion that he or she is a guru. Gnani has no, Buddha has no notion I'm Buddha. But he plays the role of Buddha also very well. Okay, so life becomes very beautiful. Life becomes impersonal. Life becomes divine. The divinity alone operates. In all aspects of life, the divinity will take over. That is the story. That is the meaning of the story of Bali Chakravarti and Vamana avatar. In the Bali Chakravarti, the Vamana will tell the small boy who has just completed his third ceremony. He comes and asks Bali Chakravarti, give me something. Bali Chakravarti tells, whatever you want, you ask. Vamana tells, I'll take 3 steps, that much land you give me. Everybody knows the story? So Vamana becomes Trivikrama. Okay. One leg he keeps on the heaven, one leg he keeps on the earth, third leg he doesn't know where to keep. Bali Chakravarti tells, keep on my head. So this entire story, Puranic story, is the message of process of realization. When you give little space for gnana in your life, for God in your life, what will happen? He will take over everything. Waking, the three lokas, waking, dreaming, deep sleep, will become him. Then Bali Chakravarti doesn't die in the story. Bali Chakravarti is given a role. So ego doesn't die. Ego is given a task. Whenever it has to come for the work of Lord, it will come. Earlier it was working for itself. Now it will start working for Lord. That's all. It doesn't die, because if the ego dies, the body dies. Body cannot function without that fuel. It's a fuel for the body. But it does happen in many cases for some people. Even Gnana, there are 4 levels of Gnana. Gnanis. Brahmavid, Brahmavara, Brahmavarenya, Brahmavarishta. Okay. So there is Vyasa Maharshi, Veda Vyasa Maharshi, who wrote the Mahabharata, right? He's Brahma, he's a Gnani. But he has a son. You know what is his son's name? Veda Vyasa's son's name? Veda Vyasa's son's name is called Shuka Maharshi. Shuka Maharshi is next level Gnani. He's a Brahma Varishta. He's such a Brahma Varishta that he's born enlightened. And he has no notion that I am the body. Okay, he's naked. He's naked and he's walking. As a teenager, he starts walking out of the house. Then the Veda Vyasa Maharshi runs behind him. Putra, 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 he calls him. Then there are some women in the stream, in the river there, who are bathing naked. When Shuka Maharshi passes, they bow down to him. When Vedavyasa Maharshi passes, they immediately cover themselves with clothes. Okay, then Vedavyasa was confused. He asked, "Arey, I am old. I am an old person. When I come, when my son is a teenager, okay, when he comes, you don't close yourself, cover yourself. When I come, why are you covering yourself?" Then the girls, the women say, he has no idea that he's a body. He is like a child. He's a Brahma Varishta. He has not even a concept that I am the body. Okay, and Brahma Varishta, they don't even go and seek food. Okay, if somebody puts food in their mouth, they eat, because they're in a perpetual state of bliss of consciousness. Hunger is also Maya for them. Okay, that is Brahma Varishta, where there's barely any vasanas, no thought, no vasana, no impression, nothing. Okay, that is Brahma Varishta. So Gnani is also of 4 types. I'll go deeper into it. Remind me some other time. That's why you see the difference in Gnanis. Krishna is Brahmavid. Okay, so there's a master called, for example, Ramana Maharshi is more Brahmavarenya. He's more withdrawn from the society. Okay, so the Gnani sort of, the more your vasanas drop, but there's no difference in Gnana. Please understand. The Gnana is the same for all of them. There's a difference in the concepts being burnt, vasanas being burnt. And that vasanas being burnt is not an individual choice. It's a universal choice.
So can you say that it's how much of ego is coming into play? So,
Illa. It is about what was the journey that person took for Gnana.
Okay.
For example, somebody who done a lot of sadhana to get Gnana, meaning somebody who did a lot of purification, tapas, burning, a lot of preparatory things, then got Gnana, then their system is more advanced. Okay. For example, somebody gets Gnana, directly gets the fortune of meeting a guru, has not done any purificatory practice. Okay. Just gets Gnana by whatever prarabdha karma. Then that person's journey would be different compared to somebody else's. Like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa had many disciples, but Vivekananda is a little different. Okay, his past momentum is such that he has the capability to lift heavier weight. Okay, somebody else might also have Gnana, but their machine is not built for lifting weight. Okay, so don't judge Gnana based on the physical attributes. Okay, all Gnani should be able to talk like Vivekananda. No. All Gnani should be able to sit silently like Ramana Maharshi. No. All Gnani should be able to dance like Krishna. No. All Gnani should be able to be like Buddha. No. Right? So Gnana is purely internal. It has nothing to do with external characteristics. Somebody can be Janaka Maharaja is a Gnani. He has a wine glass in his hand. He's sitting in the posh palace, looking at women dance. He's Gnani. Okay. So you can never tell about somebody's Gnana based on external characteristics. Now, this don't apply to others. Apply to yourself. So feel happy that, okay, just because I'm the way I am, I can still be a Gnani. Okay, shall we close for the day? So thank you all in this great Kali Yuga. Thank you all for taking out the time in your busy schedule on a weekend and joining the session. I'll communicate about the next session on the group. Let us just chant Loka Samasta and close. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta
Loka samasta
Sukhino Bhavantu.
sukhina bhavantu.
Harihi Om.
Harihi Om.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Harihi Om.
Harihi Om.
My pranams to all. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Guruji.
Hari Om, Guruji.
Dhanyavad.
Hari Om.